Habari ma Africa, mimi ni King, ninafuraha kukutana na wewe. Asante kwa kutazama King Seso. Ladies and gentlemen, the Umkhonto weSizwe Political Party High Command met at Umhlanga, where they are having a 4-day meeting there to strategize on how they are going to win the next by-elections and also enforce their presence on the next local elections. Now, the media was invited there and they had a word or two with the former president of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, and they had Floyd Shivambu also answering some questions there. So I want to cover that and talk about PASETA and much more.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Seso. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinjiva Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, we're talking the MK Political Party having those very important 4-day meetings there at Umhlanga in Durban. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the MK Political Party have to mend the net so that the cash can be great, especially for the coming by-elections and the local elections that are looming next year. So, before we do that, let's jump quickly and listen to our host of the Gala Dinner of PASETA that is coming in on the 2nd of May. I'm talking about Usisi Mazwai. She's the one that will be hosting our Gala Dinner. She's the one that will be on the stage driving the whole program. And you can just imagine how fun that is going to be with a character like Usisi Mazwai. This is what she had to say.
Hey, this is Nziki Mazwai. Join me at the PASETA Gala Dinner on the 2nd of May out in Kimberley. Please get your tickets quickly because they're running out. Just go to the PASETA website, PASETA, or the King Said So podcast channel, YouTube, and on Twitter to get all the details. It's 1,000 Rand a ticket or 10,000 for the table. Just buy a ticket. Buy the whole table, guys. It's going to be a beautiful network of Pan-Africanists. We're busy building a university. Oh, it's a school, actually. We're building a Pan-Africanist school. So please come through. Let us build. It's about AfriForum Fela by Zangdilo for their people. Please support paseta.co.za and go get your tickets. Peace out.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, Usisi Mazwai will be here in Kimberley hosting us on the stage there. We chose Usisi Mazwai because of the drive that she's having. Whether you like her or not, Usisi Mazwai is a Pan-Africanist of note. Her portfolio and her track record, her work speaks for itself. She's not a perfect human being. Nobody is. And that is why we chose Usisi Mazwai, because we think she's the right person to drive this program. We needed a strong woman that is not going to be pushed around, that can hold this whole program with her two arms and drive it to such an extent that nobody forgets it. This is the first event of PASETA. So we needed a name. We needed a character. We needed charisma like nobody before. And I think many of you, whether you like her or not, can agree that Usisi Mazwai on stage, she's hot, Shem. So please purchase your ticket. Go on www.paseta.co.za, like she said, and purchase your ticket. The tickets are running out, ladies and gentlemen. Sheshani Tole Nama ticket. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak about the MK Political Party. The media was invited and they got a piece of Jacob Zuma. Jacob Zuma is always that charisma guy that always speak nicely, makes a lot of jokes and here and there. Looks like he was not willing to answer any questions today, as he was a little bit tough on the journalist there of ENCA. And I was like, yo, this lady. Hey, she found Jacob Zuma on the wrong side today, and Jacob Zuma was not in the mood to answer all of these funny questions about, hey, where's the MK? Are you guys united? What do you think about the ambassador? And all of those questions. Jacob Zuma was having none of that. He was there for MK business, and the MK business is what he wanted to talk about. But let's quickly listen to him as he is talking to this journalist, answering some of the questions that she posed to him.
We're doing everything in our, what we call, to do what we call.
Are you unified as a party?
What's the question?
It's a question. Are you unified?
We?
Yes, as MK?
I'm incredible. Who told you us we're unified?
No one told me. I'm asking. It's a question. Are you
Why are you
unified?
asking this
It's
question?
an important question.
How important is it? We are unified.
Okay.
We are, definitely.
Are you ready for your trial that's happening in mid-April?
We are ready for anything that is coming on our way.
Just last question, Mr. President. I'd like to ask you what your views are regarding the expulsion of the interest of the ambassador. How do you think we have handled this whole debacle as a country?
I'm not going to be talking about that. Now we are asking something you said we are not going to ask. You wanted to ask how is this going? And I'm responding on the basis of that. Now you want to tell me about some people, someone.
I'm just curious of your views. You were president of the Republic. I'm just curious of your views.
No, I've got my views, but I always look after my views. I don't worry them.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me about the party? I asked you if you're unified. You said what kind of questions
The party is wonderful. The party is wonderful. It's flowing like we've never seen.
You want membership?
That was the last question.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Jacob Zuma was not having any of it from this journalist today. And sometimes these journalists, they just... they don't have timing, but Jacob Zuma was having none of it, asking the question, are you united as a party? And Jacob Zuma asking him, what is the question? What is the question? And she failed to elaborate on why she was asking that question. So now I'm just asking, are you united as a party? No. You know why you're asking that question. You know what is the trap to answer that question so that you can do a follow-up question. You know you want to answer about Ududuzile and all this controversy that we see on media. Be a journalist and ask that question boldly. Ask and say, no, Mr. Zuma, the reason I'm asking, are you united, is because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can respect you as a journalist. But these journalists that are always getting, the limelight in this white monopoly capitalist mainstream media, that are not even good journalists themselves. This is the type of a product that you get. But let's listen to Floyd Shivambu answering the question about the U.S. ambassador, because he did.
As an ambassador to the United States is an issue of those who are in government now. Let them choose whoever they want to choose. It's not our issue. But what we have always been saying and will continue to say is that as things stand, South Africa needs to prioritize its relationships with the countries in the BRICS bloc, which is Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and the plus component of the United Arab Emirates, the Federative Republic of Ethiopia, the Islamic Republic of Iran, Republica Argentina, and all the other progressive countries in the world, but also must intensify intra-African trade, that we take our goods and products to the African continent. This over-reliance and dependence on the American market is subjecting us to ridicule, is subjecting us to being treated like our children.
Now, these questions, when they were asked to the right person, who is the Secretary General of the MK political party, of Floyd Shivambu, he answered the questions. And Floyd Shivambu rightfully says, let the ANC deploy whoever they want to deploy there in that position. That is their business. But rather what they should do, they need to prioritize the relationship that they have with the BRICS. But what I like also in what he's saying, and I'm not hearing this enough from African presidents and all political parties, is this intra-African trade. This is so very important, and it has to do a lot with the advanced integrated border system that I preach here, of which you guys call the open border system. Yes, that open border system is opening for goods and services and everything. But hey, you don't want that now, because you see this Ethiopian, I think 50 Ethiopians were apparently... but he kidnapped and put somewhere in a house. They are coming out. They are South Africa icon. yo. So in kanjani bafethu, because our towns are going to be infestated by these Ethiopians, and you ask yourself, Uti, because the only thing they worry about, I'm losing now, I'm getting out of topic now because that crossed my mind. The only thing that is important for them is to cross the border. If I can just be in South Africa, I'll make a plan, because in South Africa, if you have the drive, if you have the will, you can make it here. You can make it here selling sweets. You can make it here selling anything. Here in South Africa, you can make it. It's just South Africans, some of them, they don't know, because we come, I don't want to say from a privileged background, but the struggle is not like the other African countries. So you find yourself that a person say, if I can just make it to South Africa, if I can just get in Kenya, if I can get in wherever, for some South Africans, it is a change of province. It's someone saying from Northern Cape, he says, if I can just get in Gauteng, if I can, all of those type of things. People are just here, 50 people kidnapped, trafficked, apparently. There's no trafficking here. We know what is going on. We know what is going on here. But anyways, that African intra-African trade is very important to me, to hear relationships like Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, to hear presidents, declaring that, no, I will support Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, what do you guys need? We're going to supply it for you guys. This is what we need. Can you supply for us? Can we send some of our mining companies that side to mine gold and whatever, and reboost the economy and reinvest in Zimbabwe, so that Zimbabweans don't have to leave Zimbabwe and come to South Africa? All that intra-African trade is very important to me, not only with goods and services, but also making sure that business crosses borders. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's a topic for another day. He says this thing of us to be related on reliant, is it the right word? Relying on the USA, they treat us like children. If you want to know how the USA can treat you like children, go and ask the president of Ukraine. Go and ask him. Go and ask that president. But anyway, he was also asked about the unity of the MK political party. I was so interested to hear how he was going to answer that question, because that's the question that we all wanted to hear. This is what he said.
Umkhonto weSizwe is the most united organization in South Africa. They are anonymous elements that we do not know. There's never been anyone who came to a meeting of Umkhonto weSizwe to express a view about any of its leaders. Not in this meeting, not in any provincial meeting. There's never been anyone who came to say that the national chairperson, deputy chair, secretary general is not suitable. The people who are trying to say that are faceless, cowards, who have never said that in any meeting of Umkhonto weSizwe. As far as we're concerned, we've got a solid, united leadership that is reading from the same hymn book. We are on the same agenda of consolidating the structures of the organization. There's robust engagements internally in terms of the direction of the organization. It happens in that way when the organization is growing, that there will be different perspectives on the pace, on the form and content of its growth. But the organization is growing, and we are not aware of any dissenting voices. And of course, if there are dissenting voices, we'll listen to them, because we're an organization that is transparent and engages with all views that are brought to our attention. But thus far, there is no one who has got a name and surname and an ID number who has come to say that they've got concerns about the direction of the organization. We don't know anyone of that nature.
What about
no one?
What about
I think the issue of Mr. Duzile is handled elsewhere as part of the disciplinary issues, but there's never been any member of Umkhonto weSizwe who came to a formal structure of Umkhonto weSizwe to any meeting to express any view about the leadership direction of Umkhonto weSizwe. That is the absolute fact. So there is nowhere in the minutes of Umkhonto weSizwe, or even in the records of who says what, where, there has never been anyone who raise the concerns about the direction of the organization in the manner that it is. And if they raise those issues, we'll then get to listen to them and then be able to clarify as to just how do we move forward. But otherwise, we're not concerned about all those issues. What our concern is now is to establish presence in all the voting districts, in all the wards, in all the municipalities, in all the districts, and then prepare for victory in the upcoming elections.
Okay, yeah, I think this question is an important one, and people who want to criticize the MK political party, people who are doing political analysts like myself, this question will never be answered to our satisfaction fully. But the question is answered nevertheless. I'm getting something here. I'm not sure if you are getting it or not. In the answer of this question, there is almost like a challenge for people who are against Floyd Shivambu to formally raise their problems with Floyd. We know that these people that have got problems with Floyd, right? We know that. The MK can deny that, but Tina, we are watching, we are following these people on social media. They are all swearing at Floyd on social media. They are there. Floyd is saying, and I'm not sure how true this is, there was never a case in a formal meeting of the MK political party where somebody with a name, a surname, and an ID number raised the issue of a conflict, people going against the direction of the MK political party in a formal meeting. That is a challenge. That is a challenge. And the problem with that challenge is that you are going to challenge the MK party that seems like it is growing. It's like people, I know people are praying for the downfall of Floyd. Like some people, like myself, who did not like the way he exited the economic freedom fighters, disappointed with his wedding after he left the EFF and everything. People were hoping that Floyd will crash in the MK political party, or the MK political party will crash him. But the opposite is happening. Let's be honest. The opposite is happening. Floyd is managing. He's got both his hands on that steering wheel firmly of the MK political party, and as Secretary General of the political party, he needs to be. He needs to be. Honestly speaking, with all the challenges that he has, just like how Fikile Mbalula is doing. Fikile Mbalula has got big challenges in the MK, in the ANC. He is managing that role very well. I know we put him as the weakest Secretary General of forever, but to be in the situation where he is, also looking over your shoulders, Ngabo, this group in Gauteng that are doing their own thing, it's a difficult thing. But Floyd Shivambu is saying, those who've got a problem with him, let them raise it in a formal meeting. That is the challenge. Now, if you are a smart somebody somewhere, you will gather whatever information that you have, and then you will going to raise it in a formal information. Because it's not enough just making noise outside the formal structures of the formal communication structures of the MK political party. The end thing is that you're going to get suspended because you will be dividing this divisive in nature, like Umeri party. You understand what I'm saying? They would be like, you are divisive in nature. This is against the constitution, and they kick you out. So I was very impressed to hear Floyd say that, and I was like, is it true? Is it true? He brushed away the do things like Dudu's been dealt with. Dudu's been dealt with. There's a disciplinary hearing process that is busy with Dudu. I don't mind that, but even her in a formal meeting, she has not raised anything against Floyd or the MK political party, like Floyd is saying, the direction of the MK political party. And if I'm an MK supporter or leader somewhere, I would not be too worried about where the MK is now. In fact, the MK is like the only party that can smile now. The EFF can also, because the EFF that was seen to going to crash because of all of these high-profile leaders leaving, managed to steady that ship. That ship is steady, but the MK ship is also steady. I don't want to lie. So yeah, it's very interesting. I wonder what you guys have to say about that answer of the Secretary General of the MK political party. I'm talking about the political scientist himself. For me, it sounded like a challenge to say the noise is outside, it's not inside. Inside, when we have formal meetings, everybody is respecting everybody and nobody is raising these concerns that you are talking about. Floyd Shivambu. No, we'll see if we're gonna hear more from this 4-day meeting and all of those things. So let's just wait and see what more we can report on this. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you for being for choosing King Said So. Thank you so much, guys, for taking your time watching up until here. If you are here, until we meet again, don't forget to pray. But after you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace, Pan Africanism. I salute you.